Welcome back, and you're very welcome if you're new. I have a very exciting unboxing for you today. Just before we get started, I'm going to let you know that I'll be giving lots of details in this unboxing. However, if there's one particular planner you're wanting to hear details about, or if you don't need to hear details and you just want to see a particular unboxing or whatever, there's chapters in the video so you can skip out and watch it in whatever way suits you. Okay, so this is a 2024 planner, and as you can see, it is a hardback fabric cover. But this year they gave the option for flex planners. So they have lay flat binding, plant-based inks, they're made in Canada, they're bleed resistant with 120 GSM, which is £80 paper, which I can attest to, as I have tried lots of different pens in the back of this, and I'm really impressed with the paper quality. They have square graph grids, and they're all a Monday start, which is a personal preference and a huge win for me in my opinion, because particularly in the monthlies, and I have been redating the planner that I'm using this year in the monthlies to make it a Monday start, so that's fantastic. The colours that are available in the flex planners are Riverie, which is French for river. I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm sorry if I didn't. Also Moss, which is a muted green. Charbon, which is French for charcoal, which I think is really gorgeous, and as well as that then Rosé, which is French for pink. So they have 4 colour options in them. So they have their paper flex cover 2025 weekly, which is the flex cover version of this, and it's £36 sterling. I'm from Northern Ireland, so I get it in sterling, but if you Google conversion to whatever your currency is, you'll be able to see. Or just go onto their page and change the currency to whichever one is for your country, and all the prices will convert. It is 6.35 inches wide and 8.5 inches high. However, something to note is in the flex planners, the covers are the exact same size as the actual pages, whereas this is slightly larger. The 6.3 is the paper size of the width, but the cover size is 6.6. And again, this is 8.5 for paper size, and it's 8.8 for this cover. So that's something to note, the cover sizes. The main 2025 weekly has 224 pages. It has a vertical hourly layout starting on a Monday with a daily wellness reminder and a 6 to 10 schedule. It has 2025 reflections to help you start planning. It has exercises to help you connect with your personal values, lots of different spreads at the start. You can create attainable habits. There's a monthly overview. There's blank pages at the beginning and end of each month to brainstorm. And there's additional blank space at the bottom of each weekly spread. And then there's also additional blank notes pages for anything you need, such as brainstorming, stuff like that. So that is the option for the 2025 weekly that comes in the flex cover. There is also the flex cover 2025 horizontal, and it's also £36, and the specifics are exactly the same for it. It's the same number of pages, 224. The only difference is it's a horizontal layout in the weeklies. Then we have a 2025 daily option in the flex cover, and it is £48. It has 416 pages, so it's quite chunky, and it has the same size, and it has a daily minimal layout. It includes a mini calendar of the week in the footer. And each monthly calendar is followed by daily pages. So it is in all the months at the start, and then all the dailies. It's a month, then the dailies for that month, a month, and then the dailies for that month, etc. Now, something that they also have started offering this year that is new for both the hardback and the flex cover is a daily duo, and it is £71, and it is 208 pages in the first book and 208 pages in the second book. So that still adds to 416, which the main daily is, but it's divided in 2. So January to June in one, and July to December in the other. And it has all the same spec. I said it's just divided in two. Then there's also minimalist options, and these differ actually in size. So all the other ones were the 6.35 by 8.5. So they're not exactly A5, they're slightly larger. But the A5 minimalist is 5.8 by 8.3. So it is slightly smaller. It's a true A5. It's £34 and it has 192 pages. And the difference with it is a vertical minimal layout. So it is focused on planning, and it does have reflections for the new year and reflections for the month, but it doesn't have all the extras. So this has a index here, and then you get a note before you begin. And then there's self-reflection, a couple of pages, identifying values, setting goals. It's whole opening, setting goals and intentions spreads. So you can see habits as well. All this section here before you get to the actual calendar. Whereas the minimal doesn't have this, and I actually went for the minimal weekly. I'll show you in a minute, so I'll be able to show you what page it starts on and the difference, but that's what your main one will look like if you don't get the minimal, only obviously this will be 2025 and this will be 2026. Another new option then, and the final option for a flex cover, is they have a B5 minimalist, and it has all the same specs as the A5 minimal, only it's B5, so that's 6.9 by 9.8. Just a quick note, the hardcover options are exactly the same for what's available, as well as all the specs that I gave you. The differences are the covers are slightly larger than the actual pages, as I was discussing earlier. And then finally, there's additional colour options. So let me run through them really quickly for you. Elderberry, Reverie, Nimbus, Moss, Lilac, Enchanted Forest, Wild Orchid, Charbon, Autumnal, Toile de Lin. There was also a Midnight Stars sparkle option, but it appears to have sold out, which is something to note, that all those colours might not be available by the time you go and look, but just check. It's very clear what is and isn't available on the site. I know that was a lot of information. There's actually a useful chart at the bottom of the listings. If you click, for example, B5 Minimalist and scroll to the bottom, it's down there. And then as well as that, there's also a part of their page where you can download all the different layouts, which I think is such a kind thing to offer, and it gives you the opportunity to try different layouts before you commit to purchasing one. Without further ado, let me show you the ones that I got, and we'll take a look inside and see what they're like. I'm so excited. So starting with this is the B5 Minimalist. Oh my word, they gave me... I ordered the flex cover and they gave me the hard cover. Right, I sent a message. These things happen. Anyway, we'll take a look at this one today. It will be the same inside. So I ordered the Reverie, the blue, and it has gold foiling up here. It says 2025. 2025 gold foiling on the side, and Hemlock and Oak is written in gold foiling on the back. It's absolutely stunning. And then inside you get this usual style of page. It's always there. And then this planner belongs to is on the page that's glued too high. It happens in all bound books. Then you get your same index page. So if I compare, and this one has brown for their slogan about the mighty oak, and this one has introduction, personal values, self-reflection, identifying values, setting goals, habit cultivation, daily framework, important, 2-year overview, and then this will be 2025, horizontal view and vertical view, and then holidays, and then January. Whereas here you get a 2025 overview, a 2026 overview, a 2025 horizontal view, Q1 and Q2, Q3 and Q4, and then holidays, and then it goes into January. So you can see all this section is really narrowed down because it's minimal, which means that we're going straight to the calendar. calendar spread. So there's 2025 and all the months, with black writing for the actual days in the month, pale grey writing for the days that are in a different month, and brown writing for the days of the week. Really lovely. And then you go into a horizontal view. Already my mind's going crazy with ideas of how I could use this. Such a good idea, this layout. So you have a calendar at this side and then graph that way. And each one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. Then you get another layout. So you don't have to combine if you want birthdays, if you want one for monthly and weekly themes, if you want one for habits. You know, you have so many options of layouts without having to cram everything in. It's brilliant. So you get Q1, January to February, and it's down in a list, and then you have a space at the bottom, and then this is Q2, and then you get Q3 and Q4. Then we have holidays for Canada and USA. I'm in Northern Ireland, so I would probably cover this page, but that's what's there. And then a blank graph page. And then you get your January overview. So you get a blank graph page. What boundaries will you set for yourself this month? List 3 ways you can carve out time for self-care. What intentions do you have this month? What milestones are you focusing on? What habits do you want to cultivate this month? Are there any barriers? And then a little habit tracker. And then frequency. So do you want to do it once a week, up to 7 times a week? And a reward. Personally, I would use this layout and ignore the headers that they've put. And then you get your monthly. And I like the fact that this is blank down here and it isn't divided into sections. There is a little square that would be used as a checklist, but you don't have to use that. And then you get your month, and again, plenty of space. And it's very minimal. And I love the fact that there's no colours that you have to cover up and hide. Then this is how the weekly looks. So you get the month at the top, a checklist, a blank section at the bottom, the days of the week, some space, and then 6 to 10 in your schedule. So you have that until you get all the way through to the end of the month. And I love the fact that it doesn't have all the months at the front and then all the weeks. That's a personal preference for me, to have it in a flow. Anyway, so once you get to the end, you have a review. So this one is write down 3 memorable moments this month. What gave you energy this month and what drained you? A lesson, thought or growth moment for this month. And another blank page. So you could do like a month in photos type spread or something here. And then you're into your next month's, and that's a February overview. So that'll be the same the whole way through. You get 2 ribbons, one in a really dark blacky blue and another one in a more royal blue. And they go the whole way to the edge of the page, so they're a good size. And then once you get to the very back, actually I should probably tell you what it starts on. So the very first week in this is the 30th of December to the 5th of January, which is perfect because I would want my New Year spread in my new planner. And then the last week is also the New Year's, but it's the 29th of December 2025 through to the 4th 2026. I'll probably glue these together or use it for something else because I'll want to be in my new planner, but it's good to know that you have that option if you want to include it. You then get a year-end review. So identify 3 memories from the last 12 months that you want to cherish. Who or what you are grateful for in the last year and why. What are you proud of in the last year? Write down 5 positive things about yourself from the last year. What visions do you see for yourself in the future? And what are the 3 ways you can get yourself closer to that vision? And again, I probably won't use it for this. I'm not someone who likes prompts in a planner. It's because of the colouring and because it is just one tiny little sentence, it'll be very easy to customise. So then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16 graph pages, and then one of those graph pages is the glue to high page at the back, and then you have your blank page at the back. So very minimal, as the title suggests. Stunning planner. So this one is a daily jewel. I'm really excited about this. So this is not soft bound, it's like a cardstock, but it's flexible, hence the flexi name. But it's not so flexible that it's going to flop everywhere and just droop and be annoying. And it again has the gold foiling, and this says Hemlock and Oak 2025 daily. And this one is January to June, and this one is July to December. So let's do January to June first. So it doesn't have the 2025 on the side the way the hard bound one does. This is actually a material part here rather than the cardstock, and it has the Hemlock and Oak on the back. So you have the same page on the inside, it's like a recycled paper style, and then the same glued to high page with Hemlock and Oak planner belongs to. And then this one actually has colour. It's like a blacky blue on their little quote, and then you have your index page, so you have your same opening pages here, and then you also have your horizontal layout, and you still get the 6 graph squares, and I'll show you the difference in size. As you can see, the difference really comes in the height. There is a slight difference here, but not too much, it's more the height. So yeah, you get then your Q1 and Q2, and you get Q3 and Q4. So then you get your holidays and your graph page, and then it goes straight into the months. So there's no January overview, and there's also no January review at the end, which I think is brilliant because I already have that in the weekly. So I don't need a January review and a January overview in both, so I wouldn't have that duplication. But again, that's just a personal preference. Maybe someone that's only getting this would be disappointed by that, I don't know, but it's something to bear in mind. But personally, I think that's brilliant. So you only have your monthly spread, and then it goes straight into the daily layout. So this is your daily layout. You have focus, intentions, schedule, which goes from 5 right the way through to 11, and then there's a heartbeat sign at the bottom, but you could use that for 12. You don't have to use that for daily wellness, or you could use it for your meals or whatever. And then you get an intention section and a today section that has the squares checklist right down. And at the bottom there is all the days that are included in that week with the current day in brown, and the rest are grey. And it's such a flexible layout because even though it says focus, schedule, intentions today, you can use it for whatever you want. And it has that £80 gorgeous paper. And it's quite smooth, but it's not slippy smooth, you know what I mean? It's really gorgeous to write on. So then you get to the end of the month, and because your months will always be a full spread, as in 2 pages, you are going to get 31st of January, 1st of February, rather than a blank page. And then it'll go into the monthly spread, no overview, no review, and then into the 2nd. So it'll continue that way, the whole way through. As you can see, this is 25th of June, 29th of June, 30th of June, and then mid-year notes, blank page. And that is it. 2 graph pages, although I wouldn't use this one because of the glue, and then into a blank page at the back. And then the second book doesn't actually have the index, so you don't have this page, you don't have the index page, and you don't have all this. You only get this in one book, so just bear that in mind. That doesn't come at all in the second. So you'll see this goes from this page to a blank graph page to July. So then it goes into the daily and right the way through. And then once you get to the back, the way this book didn't have anything at the end, it just went from the 30th of June and 2 blank pages. This has a blank page and then a year-end review. So you get identify 5 memories from the last year you want to cherish. Who or what you're grateful for in the last year? How have your values changed in the last year? etc. Year-end review, looking ahead, what vision do you see for yourself in the future? And then 1, 2, 3, 4 blank pages. If it really bugged you that there wasn't calendar spreads at the start of this, you could create them at the end using the blank pages. Then here you have another quote, and this is the glued page, and then into the blank page. So I'm really happy with these. I'm glad I went for the flex covers. Whether or not I'll wish I had got it all in one book or not remains to be seen, but you never know till you try. But hopefully that was helpful, and thank you so much for watching, and take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light.